Are we ever going to sell this damn house? Whew, it's been a busy week, it really has. Don't know where to start, I really don't. We're prepping the house for sale now. So the last video we announced that we've retired, and that's great. I've set up my income with HL, my pension provider. I'll adjust as I go along, depending on what my bonds give me. But I haven't been back to work, and I don't intend to. I could do if I needed to, but I won't, probably. But instead of enjoying our retirement and relaxing and everything else, it's kind of all go now. We've suddenly realised, God, we've got to get rid of this house, especially with everything that's going on with the cost of living. They're possibly going to put interest rates up again, which means our mortgage is going to go up because it's on a standard variable rate. And purely I wanted it to be on that because I don't want any fees, because the fees can run into thousands when you pay a mortgage off early, and the intention was to always sell the house and pay the mortgage off. So now we've come to the crunch. So there's lots of things that need doing. Now I've been stalking our bay window out the back. We have a bay window in our lounge and then up in our bedroom as well, which kind of sticks out a little bit. The bay window downstairs, I've always known that the soffits and fascias were very flaky paint and probably needed a lick of paint. I was thinking, oh, it's going to need sanding down and everything else. So I got the sander out, went out there, had a little poke around with a screwdriver and found that it's absolutely rotten through on the fascia boards. The soffits aren't so bad. So I thought, oh, great. Literally a screwdriver went through it. It was just mush. It was like mushroomy texture, just complete rot in the wood. Luckily it hasn't gone through to the ceiling of the bay, or the other part. That's kind of, they've made a box over the top of it. But anyway, the previous owners has basically slapped on some UPVC fascias over the top of it. And when we bought the house, I didn't know what I was looking for, and we didn't have like a full survey or anything. We had a mortgage survey. So there was a lot of real bodge jobs that we found later on in the house, and we've kind of DIY'd around them, as you do. Couldn't afford for professionals to come out, and that's why we're getting rid of the house. We just can't afford to maintain it going forward. So we're going to get with our boat and the caravan, easier to maintain, cheaper to maintain, and we've got the club where we're going to be as well. So we've got experts and skilled people on hand, rather than having to pay professionals. It's all kind of within the club, if you like. Anyway, so my neighbour luckily told me, he said, oh, pop down to so-and-so windows down the road, and they'll sell you some soffits and fascias. So I went down there, got some great advice from this guy. I didn't know they had a trade counter. And we bought, it was only about 40 something quid. I thought it was going to be hundreds for several meters of this fascia and soffit stuff. So we've bought plastic. I'm going to chip away, get rid of all the rotten wood, and then replace it with the plastic stuff, which will last 25 years, and that'll be fine. That should satisfy any surveyors that come round, Then we're looking at our fireplace. We're looking at the carpet in the hall and the stairs. It's all a bit naff. We've got carpet tiles down, but they wanted us to go right the way over to a different town to find out what the quote was and then select some carpet, which couldn't be asked. So that was a few years ago. So now I'm thinking, actually, we are going to spend a little bit of money on the house. We're doing sort of 20 years of maintenance in a month. It's a bit, or in 10 days. The goal was always to get the house on the market by the end of April. Because my money came in earlier than I expected, about a month earlier, I thought we'd have the house on the market by now, or by mid-April, but it's probably going to be the end of April. I need to get someone in to do some plastering around the fire surround. We're going to paint it all. We're going to get a wood beam on there and just get it looking pucker for the photos, because I don't want people thinking, oh, this is a project, I've also got a dripping tap in the kitchen. It's been dripping for ages. I've got a tap to replace it. A brand new mixer tap that we've had for several years, which I just never got around to changing it. Unfortunately, the nut underneath connecting it to the kitchen sink is completely rusted. I haven't tried moving it yet, and I haven't tried to undo all the pipe work and everything else and shut the water off and stuff. But I'm gonna have a crack at it, and we'll see how we go. And I confirmed with a British Gas service guy who came out to service the boiler yesterday how to shut the water off and everything else with the hot water without having to drain the whole tank, which is a bonus. So because we've got like an isolator valve. So I'm going to do that, change the tap over. There's all these little things that just do need doing, really. Otherwise, someone else is going to try and knock us down loads, and I'd rather be more in control of that. So Yeah, so we've got the dripping tap, we've got to clear the outhouse, we've got to clear the garden, but actual structural work, painting and decorating, we've got to repaint the whole hallway. I'm going to get a quote for the carpet, up the stairs, hallway, living room, and then I've got to replace the soffits and fascias. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I just went out to go and have a go at it and it started raining. Typical. So yeah, so we need a few decent days. At the moment I've ripped off half of it, and I've got a tarp over the top of it to protect it, so that no more moisture gets in there. But I've also got some rot treatment stuff that I can spray in there and paint over all the rest of it to make sure no rot spreads through the rest of the timber, and then we should be fine. So what we did, Jess and I are going to do like a chat at some point soon, hopefully. I've got another mic coming for her so that we can sit and chat properly and talk through both of our feelings on all of this. But we were chatting this morning, and what we've done is we've got a whiteboard up now, because we're thinking, you know, what we tend to do is we tend to do one job and then get distracted by something else, or something arrives in the post that I've ordered. For instance, yesterday or the other day, I was in the middle of a job, the soffits and the fascias, trying to sort all that out, and then a new locking key nut for the Volvo wheel nuts, because they didn't bloody give me one, did he, the guy who sold us the Volvo. So I've ordered one from Germany, from the actual manufacturer, and it's the wrong bloody size. So of course I'm distracted by that, faffing around, emailing them back and forth, sending them pictures, trying to get a refund, trying to send it back and everything else, right rigmarole. But of course that distracted from what we were doing, because we're not project managing ourselves properly. So we've got a big whiteboard up from our old Amway days, showing the plan and doing presentations and stuff like that. So we've got that. We're going to list all the rooms out, everything that we need, that needs doing on, and put an order of priority as well, so we can get this properly done, you know, so that we don't, and just keep ourselves motivated, so that we don't end up sitting on the sofa and just scrolling on your phones as you do. Or watching Netflix, or you know, something. So the idea is we really step things up now and get things going. So I'm going to try and film as much as I can. If anyone's interested, you know, in us pulling the house apart and bodging it all up, hopefully it won't be too much of a bodge. I think where it will end up being a bodge, I'm going to get a professional in to do stuff. And likewise with the tap. You know, if I really can't sort the tap out, I've got myself a new Dremel with a load of official Dremel fittings as well, 100 fittings. So I'm going to Dremel the crap out of everything. So if that tap doesn't come out, I'm Dremeling it. Hopefully I won't wreck the kitchen sink. This is what I worry about, right? This is what usually happens to me. I'll do something. So for instance with the tap, you got the bolt, the nut underneath is completely rusted to shit. I've WD-40'd it a while back to hope that would soak in. If that doesn't undo, I'm going to end up Dremeling it, damage the kitchen sink, then I've got to replace the kitchen sink, which is stainless steel. Then I've got to probably put a new surface in in the next minute we're refitting the whole kitchen. That's the kind of thing that happens to me. It can't just be one job. So, and that's because, you know, I really don't know what I'm doing. You know, I know a little bit about what I'm doing, you know, like I plumbed the whole bathroom, but I made it functional, not beautiful. So we're now trying to put it we're in the stage of trying to make things a little bit more beautiful so that it sells well and it looks good in the photos. That's the challenge we've got. The other thing as well is with interest rates going up, potentially, that means anyone with a mortgage is going to be more hesitant. They're going to want more of a bargain and all this sort of thing. Then I was looking at the timescale of selling a house, 12 to 16 weeks from offer to completion. Nope, not for us. That's just not a bit of me. I'm not, you know, if we get an offer at the end of this month, like lie on straight away from getting the house on the market, and then it's going to drag on till like August, September. I can't be dealing with that. Absolutely not. So I was kind of Googling as to, you know, what is it that takes so long? And apparently it's lenders. So if somebody's taking out a mortgage, they're a first time buyer, or they're topping up a mortgage to buy a property, it's usually the lenders are very, very particular, and they back and forth with the solicitors. You know, you've got to get this done before we lend them the money and all this sort of stuff. So my thoughts are, and I'm pretty confident that we can do this, is we're going to turn around to the agents and say, no first time buyers, no mortgage, no lending, cash only. So you can be a first time buyer, but you need to be cash only. So cash buyers only is what I'm going to go for. And that way the turnaround will be about 4 to 6 weeks, because we want out. I can't afford for the mortgage to keep going up, and we've got some retirement to enjoy. Remember, the original reason for retiring early is because my dad took his life at 59. I'm now 55. 4 years till I'm that age, and you just don't know what's around the corner. I don't. Health is pretty good at the moment, but I get knackered more than I did in my 20s when I go up a ladder, and so I know I'm aging, and every year is another year that my health might not stay the same as it was last year. So even though I'm exercising, trying to keep fit, it's hard to fit it all in. And I'm just wary of time passing, and so we just want out, and we want to be able to enjoy the retirement and enjoy the things that we wanted to do and what we set out. Our plans to get up in the morning and feed the ducks and go for wanders into the local town and just do retired stuff that retired people do, and travelling in Europe and all that sort of thing, while we can still drive safely, while we can still see and move about and everything else. So we're going to push for a cash buyer, but what we'll have to do is we just make sure everything looks all pucker, because I'm aware that prices of materials and stuff are going to be going up. So even if it's a cash buyer who maybe has some cash and they intend to go into the property and redevelop it, they might sit tight and want to live in it for a little while before they start decorating, or still before they start doing anything structural, because the price of materials may come down. Will it ever come down? I don't know. I think cost of living is just going to keep going up and up and up, and won't come down when the crisis has ended. Same as with COVID, same as with Ukraine. Everything else went up, never went down, did it? So I don't know. But I want to make the house habitable and comfortable and look nice, so that if somebody is considering redecorating, they can get in, and there's no rush for them to do that. You know what I mean? That's the madness behind my thoughts anyway. It's all about a hasty exit. That's what we're about right now. And then it's prepping for when we do leave the house, or in fact, when we get it on the market, we will probably go away with the caravan just to test it all out. So I need to wash the caravan, clean it, polish it. I've got all the cleaning, polishing. I've got something called Bobby Dazzler by Fenwick's Bobby Dazzler, which is a crazy name, but apparently it lightens the caravan up and just makes it really look good, look nice and new. So it's almost like a gel coat kind of thing. So we're going to do all that, get the solar panels on the roof. I've got a special gland that I can glue on with Sikaflex to get the wires down, so there's no leaks. Into the battery, get the battery installed again. I've got a brand new battery waiting. Do all of that. I've got to brush all the rust off the tow bar, give it a good whack with a hammer, make sure it's nice and tough. I think it's absolutely fine. It's just a bit of flaky pastry around the inside of it. So I'll wire all that off. I've got some Hammerite now. I'm going to paint that over, so that'll keep the MOT people happy. Get the car serviced, which I can't do until I've got this damn bolt. So I'm going to probably drive over to Volvo and just get them to deal with it and give me a new bolt. Get the old bolts off, actually. Put standard bolts on. Nobody nicks car wheels anymore. They usually just nick cars. Or not in our area anyway, hopefully. So yeah, still prepping all of that whilst still trying to retain some of my 25% lump sum, which is in the bank at the moment. And it's a very nice mental cushion to have, knowing that if something big was to go wrong, can't really think what now, because we're emptying out stuff. We're getting rid of everything. We haven't used a dishwasher since my daughter moved out. We just wash up as we go. We're back to my original wish was one spoon, one fork, one knife, and one plate. And it's been a real nice change, actually. Reaching into the cutlery drawer and grabbing a fork that I like. Whereas before it was like, oh no, I don't like that one. I don't like that one. Is anyone else particular about the forks and knives? I always was. Silly little things like that, creature comforts. So that's been quite nice, actually. And then we just wash up as we go, because that's what we'll be doing in the caravan and the boat. We don't want to be leaving sinks full of washing up, and we won't be able to have a dishwasher. Not really. I know some people do on boats, but anyway, I'm rambling now. But that's a bit of an interim update. So it has been stressful. It's been a stressful week. It's been a lot going on, and it's just finding all these issues. And I wasn't able to really look at it with the eyes I've got at the moment, because we didn't have the money in the bank, and I just knew that some of it was going to cost money, some of it was going to end up I knew in the back of my mind it was going to end up having a professional coming out and looking at it. So, but you know, we're doing well. We're keeping hold of the money. We've got, as I said before, I've got my laptop now, so I can start selling my computer parts, and that'll pay for the laptop. I've got a paraglider to sell. I've got another e-bike to sell. We're still keeping the other two e-bikes, the decent ones, but we've got an old one to sell, and they're worth about £500–600 second hand. So there's lots of eBay money still yet to come in, which will hopefully, plus with our income, Jess's pension, and you know, we won't have to deplete our funds too much, if at all. So that's all good. So the boat purchase is going to happen after we've sell, right? So what we'll probably do, most of the boats that we've been looking at are for sale up in around Norfolk area because of the Broads. So because we want like a river coastal cruiser, and we're going to be looking, you know, after we've sold. So what we'll be doing, if we don't do it during the house sale process, we'll do it afterwards, where we'll literally just head up to Norfolk. We've got family up there, do some visiting, and then stay up there. We can stay up there for a month. We can stay up there for 2 months, you know, because that'll be our home, literally. So it doesn't really matter, does it? And then we can just find a boat, source it, and then get it shipped by road, which is going to cost a couple of grand. So we want to try and get a really decent deal, rather than trying to motor it round from the north, down the North Sea. It's going to be a hell of a trip, but easier by road, but it'll be costly. But then once that's done, it's done. And once it's in place, you know, then we really are cruising, kind of thing. Coasting. So that's the update for now. I'll upload some more videos as we go of what's happening with the decorating and see whether it gets any worse. There's another nightmare bit I've got to paint on the side of the bay window up on our bedroom in the back. Is there's kind of lead flashing all over it, but it's it just looks really awful. It's all streaky, and I think there's bird dung down. So I need to clean it all up, but I've got to get up a ladder really precariously, like half or most of the way up the roof. So that'll be a bit of fun. So I'll get Jess to film that. And you never know, if I fall off, that'll be a great TikTok video. I am joking, I don't want to be falling off a ladder, not at this stage in my life. I have even got a harness, and I considered throwing a rope over the top of the roof, putting it on the tow bar of the car, and then have my harness so that if I do fall off a ladder or slip or anything like that, I've got my harness there. I may even do that, or wrap it around the chimney or something like that, just for safety, because the last thing you want to do is end up with a major injury that wrecks my retirement. But we'll see how we go. We'll get some footage of that, and as I say, we'll update as we go. In the meantime, also wanted to thank you so much for your super thanks, the guys who did those. Thank you to our new members who have joined, and thanks again to all of our existing members. So I am looking at trying to juggle around doing more in-depth videos. I did a more in-depth video on our financial situation the other day for members only, and I will cover it on the main channel as well, but it will be just in much more in-depth and more behind-the-scenes stuff on the members side of things. So yeah, appreciate all of your support. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next update.